I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought Agent Lundquist was I'm like, man, why is this dude even doing what he's doing? In this book, he proves without a shadow of a doubt, he ain't no not even a little bit. Not by a long shot. That dude representing one like he Roman Reigns, like he's throwing them ones up in the air. Support the comic book industry by visiting your LCS. My name is Dorian. This is SEO Comics. We continue our coverage of X-Men with number 20. Our story starts off in Murrow, Alaska at the diner that Agent Lundquist and Cyclops met before. Cyclops walks in and is like, make this quick, Lundquist. I got things I gotta. And as soon as he says do, he gets caught with a left cross. And Lundquist is like, they can wait. As this dude is taking off his tie, throwing his gun on the table. He's like, get up, Cyclops. Me and you, we got some issues to work out. And the diner is full of people. So we cut to the factory where we got Magic and Juggernaut. And they're gathering up the pieces of the Sentinel that Magneto was controlling to fight the little girl who had a twin, who just happens to be a Mummadry, which is the same thing that Cassandra Nova is. Cassandra Nova was like manipulating her, and she took over the space whale that the X-Men had to kill. They didn't want to kill it, but they killed it. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, link to the playlist in the description. And throughout all that, the Marauder got destroyed by Wire. Not the show Wire, which is one of the best shows ever, but Wire, the character, he's evil. So Quentin's having Magic and Juggernaut gather up all the pieces of the Sentinel, which Juggernaut's gathered up so many pieces, he's like, man, you got me wishing I was a supervillain again. All I'm thinking to myself, like, no, he was a pretty bad one. Not bad like he was a horrible supervillain, just bad when you saw the Juggernaut, you was like, damn it, here we go. So Quentin tells him how Emma Frost hustled a space hustler, guess you can do that, and got the ship, and then Kitty Pryde called it the Marauder 2. And then Magic's like, what you stole? And then Quentin's like, salvage, I salvaged it. So he's like, anyway, the Marauder is a biomechanical shape-shifting UFO with a telepathic avionics. So I talked to his memory core, which is right here, and now it's going to reshape itself with all the pieces and parts of the Sentinel. So then we cut back to the diner. Cyclops is like, have you lost your mind, Agent Lundquist? He's like, I must have. Because I thought the last time that me and you met, we had understanding. You see, I don't like you. I don't like you at all. But I could count on you being a straight shooter and doing what's right. Or at least so I thought. But then a brand new mutant terrorist group decides to announce themselves to the world during your visual. Even issued a damn press release and a manifesto. Now this happened during the whole X-Men Hellfire visual #1. I read it. The reason why I didn't cover it is because the last time I covered Hellfire Gala, the third annual one, that was just almost as many pages. Like this, it's a big book. It's like 57 pages. So that video was like 25 minutes long. It took me forever to make. It only got like 250 views. And views are down right now, so it just would have been too much effort for not a lot of reward. Especially when I can just fill people in when it comes up in different books. So that's what I decided to do, like right now. So then Angel Lundquist is like, claiming responsibility for the mutant contagion. But it's not a contagion, is it? 3K is just going around turning humans into mutants. So he's like, I'm telling you this because I just want to make this clear. This is not new information to you, Summers. Like, you've known about 3K. You've known about him for a while, haven't you? So Cyclops is like, so what do you want, Lundquist? An apology? And Lundquist is like, no, I want you to put up your fist. Then we come back to the factory where Psylocke and Temper are having a conversation. And they're pretty much talking about how Temper and Ransom from Uncanny X-Men have a thing going on. Again, that was seen at the Hellfire visual. So Temper is asking Psylocke, should she tell Cyclops about it and how would he feel? And Psylocke's like, he probably won't like it and forget how he feels. Doesn't matter. So then they bring up Psylocke and Greycrow. And Psylocke's like, yeah, he has his way of making income. And Temper's like, rival banks. And she's like, hey, different way of making income. But he makes me feel good, and that's all that matters. So then Temper's like, yeah, but what about Beast and Jen? So then we cut to Beast and Jen. Beast is looking at the fragments of his original Quinjet that he built himself that had original parts. that's now pretty much trash. See, they got a little romance going on at the Hellfire visual too. And Jen's trying to make him feel better, and Beast is just ranting about his problems. How when he was trying to have an intimate moment with her, how 3K showed up and ruined everything, and how they're trying to recruit him. And if anybody else knows about this besides her, she knows about it, but if anybody else knows, how they're going to feel about it. So he's like, you know what? I just want to be alone. So she flies away because Beast might be really smart, but in this instance, he's a dumbass. So back to the diner, Cyclops ducks a left hook, and then he comes with his own left, straight to the stomach. And then he avoids a right uppercut. And he comes in and hits Lundquist with his own right cross. And then he tries to throw another left, which Lundquist blocks. And then Lundquist comes with a right, which Cyclops blocks. And throughout all that, Cyclops was pretty much telling Lundquist that 3K is a mutant problem, so the X-Men are handling it. So the Angel Lundquist lands a mean right knee straight to Cyclops' stomach and was like, hey, what about Ben Lou? Didn't you tell me he was dead? So Cyclops grabs Lundquist's arms like, what? And Lundquist is like, oh, I saw. When you guys were saving the town from that mutant girl, yeah, I saw him. He told me he died in San Francisco, but I guess he didn't. So Cyclops was like, yeah, you might have saw him, but you know what? He was saving the town. We wouldn't be able to save the town without him. If we would have turned him into you in San Francisco, then he wouldn't have been there to save the town. And knowing you guys, he'd probably be dead right now. So we cut back to the factory where you got Blob and Ben playing basketball. And Glob is killing him. And Ben's like, how you so good? And Glob's like, it might be my skin. It is kind of sticky. So then Ben's like, dude, I don't know how the hell you do it. Like, how are you so upbeat when you look the way you look? And then Glob's like, I wasn't really a looker before this happened. But now, I'm an X-Men. Coolest thing in the world. He also explains back when he was more like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutant stage, that one of his teachers at the Hellfire Academy gave him a little bit of advice. We see his Taskmaster, and he's like, you know what? Nice girls, they don't really go for the skull look. But bad girls, oh, they dig it. So the Ben's like, yeah, well, I'm kind of nervous with Cyclops being Angel Lundquist. I wonder if they saw me. Oh, they saw you all right, Ben. They saw you. Then we cut back to the diner. Angel Lundquist is hitting Cyclops with a double axe handle straight through a table. So Cyclops is trying to pick himself up. Angel Lundquist was like, you should have told me. Like, I was even with you when your boy Xavier escaped and you tried to catch him, but then he went off planet, and I'm like, good, let him be a problem for the Skrulls or something like that. But then you come back and you pull this as he catches him with another right cross. So Adrian Lundquist goes to punch him again, and Cyclops catches it and he goes, you couldn't stop me, and you know where I live. What makes you think one can stop 3K? Also, somebody says that's enough, and we see it's the police chief. And she's like, destruction of property and disturbing the peace. You're under arrest. So Agent Lundquist is like, you can't arrest me. I'm a federal agent and this is a federal matter. And Cyclops is like, Chief Robbins, let me explain. All of a sudden, Lundquist is lit up with a taser. And then Cyclops goes, well, thanks. And all of a sudden, he gets lit up with a taser. And then it falls over. So here we go back to the factory where everybody's eating dinner. Like, Juggernaut has a huge bowl of salad. I mean, huge. And then all of a sudden they're like, where's Cyclops? Like, this ain't like him. He never misses dinner. So then Quentin uses telepathy and he goes, oh, Magic 8 Ball, what do you see about Cyclops? Oh, he's in the county jail. So Cyclops like, can you find out why Chief Robbins put him in jail? And Quentin's like, nope, I don't talk to the cops. So she's like, you know what? I'll just give her a call like a cave woman. So then we go to the jail, and they're in cells right next to each other. And Lundquist is like, so, you're gonna optic away your blast out of here? And Cyclops like, you wouldn't want me to do that, Lundquist. I'm not going to screw up what we got going here. So no, I'm going to sit right here, just like you are. So Cyclops like, Agent Lundquist, tell me something. Why do you hate mutants so much? And the Agent Lundquist is like, that's the thing. I don't hate mutants. Not at all. So Lundquist is like, you know what? I saw a movie one time in a hotel. There's a whole class of teenagers that got sent to an island, and they were supposed to kill each other to survive. So Cyclops was like, I seen the movie. I don't know where you're going with this whole analogy thing, but I'm listening. So like I said, they're expected to kill each other to survive, and they all have weapons. One kid gets a shotgun. One kid gets a pot lid. One kid gets a Uzi, while the other kid gets a fork. You see, that's how I see mutants. A lot of you guys end up with pot lids and forks, but then some of you guys get Uzis and shotguns, and that's when one comes in. So Cyclops like, that's nice. You have a story to tell yourself to try to justify everything. Very convenient. So Lunk was like everybody does. I wonder what old man Xavier used to tell you. But you know what? It doesn't even matter because this whole Ben Lou thing got the bosses pissed to the point that now I have a new boss. And I think you'll like him. It's very interesting. And Cyclops goes, who is he? So Lunk was like, oh, he's a real hard ass. A nightmare, really. But, like I said, I think you'll like him because he's a mutant.